For the first time in nearly 2 decades, the Auburn Tigers are kings of the SEC basketball world. We'll take you inside the game, the celebration, and the thoughts of the team's best players who made it all possible. Plus, Lynette wins again. The Panthers complete the three-peat in Birmingham just months after winning the state championship in football. We've got an inside look at yet another state title for the Panthers. Welcome back to The Last Call. You made it just in time. I'm your host, Justin Holbrook. This week, we're looking back at the week that was. We're looking ahead at some of the best moments that we expect from the week, and plus much, much more in all of our local sports. Well, the SEC tournament is set. Auburn and Tennessee won a share of the SEC title with wins yesterday, but since the Tigers won the head-to-head matchup in Knoxville, they're going to be the #1 seed in the SEC tournament. The tourney, which is being held in St. Louis, features 8 SEC teams projected to make the big dance. That's according to ESPN's Joe Lunardi. He's got Auburn and Tennessee both as 3 seeds, Alabama as a 10 seed, and Kentucky as a 5 seed. Now that may change depending on how the tournament goes. Here's Bruce Pearl on what it means to win a conference with so many teams expected to make the tournament.
To win the league wire to wire in a year when this league is as good as almost, I don't know any of you have ever seen it better, top to bottom, or bottom to top, is a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment. This championship means more in 2018 because how great our league is.
Auburn will play the winner of Alabama and Texas A&M in the quarterfinal next Friday. Texas A&M actually beat Alabama over this weekend. And coming into this past weekend, we had 6 Georgia teams competing in the state semifinals, and now we're down to 2. On Wednesday at 6 Eastern, the Marion County girls will take on Greenville for the 1A state title. Marion County won yesterday 45-40 over Terrell County, while Greenville picked up an 11-point win over Telfair County. The Central Talbotton boys lost by 1 point, ending their season, while the girls at Carver, America Sumter, and Harris County all lost in their semifinal games. We'll have much more on the Lady Eagles, who won our latest award for Athletes of the Week. Running it back. What a historic day in the Plains yesterday after Auburn beat South Carolina to win their first SEC title since 1999. Let's take a look back at the team celebrating its 3rd ever conference title. Auburn University is no longer just a football school. For the first time in nearly 2 decades, the Tigers won a share of the SEC regular season title in Bruce Pearl's 4th season with the team.
Think about your greatest moments. One of the things that made them great is the people you shared the moment with. That's what makes it so special. To share this championship with the men in that locker room is what makes it special. We did this, and we did it together.
Before the season started, the FBI arrested assistant coach and Auburn legend Chuck Person on charges of bribery and fraud. Austin Wiley and Daniel Purefoy were ruled ineligible to play this season due to their involvement in that FBI investigation. A shorthanded team became even smaller when Anthony McLemore went down with a season-ending ankle injury 2 weeks ago.
It's very humbling, you know, just think of how we were counted out. We've all been counted out many times before, I think, as a unit, so it just pushes us to go harder every day.
Having gone through some of the adversity during the course of this season did not sidetrack us, and nobody made excuses for being shorthanded. The guys wanted to make history. They truly, truly did.
What started as a remarkable and almost unbelievable stretch of 14 straight wins during the span of 2 months culminated in yesterday's win to clinch the title.
When I signed here, you know, of course our goal was to win a championship, but you know, I don't know if I really truly felt like we was really gonna be able to. You know, 3 years later, here it goes right here, and like I said, it's unreal, unbelievable. Hasn't hit me yet, but it feels good right now. That's what I can say.
Someone at the school was so excited to celebrate, they accidentally let the confetti fly with the game still going on.
My first thought was, act like you've been there before, until I realized it's a long time since we've been there before, so we don't have to act like it.
You know who's been there before? This team, the three-peat Panthers. Lynette took home yet another state championship by taking down St. Luke's on Friday in the 2A state title game in Birmingham. Lynette led by 2 heading into the fourth quarter. In that last quarter, there were 5 lead changes, and it all came down to St. Luke's last possession. The Panthers were up 40-38 with 16 seconds left, and the shot from St. Luke's was off the mark. Lynette got the rebound and the foul, and that gave them yet another state title. And Quavius Pollard and Emmanuel Littles were named to the all-tournament team, with Littles earning MVP honors. Some Lynette players, get this, have now won 3 state titles in basketball and just won a state championship in football this past season. Here was the team after their big win.
They want it, and they want it bad. I mean, they've just been playing hard for a long time, and they never say that. Never say that.
A lot of seniors this year, and so it was just excited to work with them for the last time and keep pushing them, and to have this 4th ring. Wow, it's just amazing with these guys.
The 3rd straight. It feels crazy because you don't see too many people do that, and from the neck being a small town, and we do it for the whole area, no one made it this close but us, and we did it, and we bring it back to Chambers County.
Bringing it back to back to back. Speaking of championships, the Alabama boys 5A title game between Eufaula and Sylacauga went down in Birmingham yesterday. Fast forward to the 3rd, pass ahead to Terrell Jones. He cashes in from downtown, and he's fired up about it. He should be. That put the Tigers up by 11. In the 4th quarter now, Eufaula is down by 2 with 10 to go left in the game. Laquavius Nelson can't get the 10-footer to fall, but look who's there to clean up the glass. Marquise Jones there to save the day and tie it up at 66. From there, we're going to overtime with the state title on the line in OT. Sylacauga up 5 with under a minute left. Nelson comes up with the steal and the bucket and the foul. The Tigers cut the lead to 1 with a made free throw, and then last chance for the Tigers here. Down 1 off the missed free throw. One last chance. Nelson at the buzzer. Will it go for the win and the title? No, it does not. Eufaula falls to Sylacauga by a final score of 79-78.
We were down 6, had 3 starters foul out. We fought back in to end up losing by 1. The young men in my locker room right now, I wouldn't trade them for anything.
All of those young guys in that locker room, they have a bright future because everything that I've been through, they're going through, and they still have to go through. So it's only going to make them better. And this man right there is the best coach I ever had in my life. I wouldn't trade him for the world.
Just an incredible young man with a great message there. Football is back. I know we've seen a lot of basketball, but it's sort of back. The first day of spring practice was out in the Plains for Auburn. That happened this past week. Gus Malzahn has plenty of starting positions to fill. That includes the entire starting offensive line. Sacks leader Jeff Holland and 1,000-yard rushers Kerryon Johnson and Cam Petaway are also gone. They all competed at the NFL Combine. One local player is hoping to fill the void at running back. Former Lafayette standout Jatarvius Withlow, who played quarterback in high school, could be number 2 or 3 on the team's running back depth chart, depending on how the competition goes.
Really, just from a focus standpoint, I'm excited just the competition part. I told our coaches I want each player to improve in one area, especially the older guys, the veteran guys that we know, that played and all that. We want to try to get that much better, and just told the coordinators I want it 2 deep at the end of spring so we can go into the summer and have a by position get specific and they can work on their own.
Quarterback Jarrett Stidham was at practice but is still recovering from surgery to his non-throwing shoulder. All right, still to come, we've got Auburn baseball. They're off to their best start since 2001. You're going to see how they've gotten it done. Plus, I sat down with the Valley Times News sports editor Sam Chandler on how the Panthers were able to win a 3rd straight title and how this team made history and what the future holds for the team. That's coming up next. Welcome back. Every week we do something called Sports Spotlight, where we focus on a team that we haven't covered much. Now, I know we talk about baseball, but we haven't had a chance with all the basketball going on, and there's one team that deserves our attention, and it's the Auburn Tigers baseball team. They're off to their best start since 2001, and we took a look at how they've gotten it done. After sweeping BYU this past weekend, Auburn improves to 12-0, their third best start in school history.
Yeah, we just got to keep up good work and keep a chip on our shoulder and keep playing hard, because it's a special time in our program.
A special time for more than just the baseball team. The Tigers are joined by the softball team, which is ranked inside the top 25, while basketball just won a share of the SEC.
Obviously, being a part of Auburn, you want everyone to have the most success that they can have, and watching basketball and softball and even football in the fall have tons of success. It's pretty special. It's a cool feeling.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to be a part of. I think there's a lot of buzz around the campus recently of all kinds of different sports going on, and it's definitely been fun to be a part of and know a lot of the guys doing it. So,
the head coaches, we got a little text group going on, and it's amazing. I mean, I got number 2 equestrian. We won a championship in basketball today. The baseball team can't keep up with softball, and all these goose eggs they keep showing up. It's just, it's pretty neat where everybody's at and how everybody's playing. And
the 12-0 start is the team's best start since 2001, when it started 13-0, followed by the 1997 season when they started 17-0. The Tigers are giving up fewer than 2.5 runs a game, while averaging nearly 7 runs a game.
This is the second year in a row that we've kind of been put on the back, and people kind of told us we can't do it, and heck, it's just more motivation for us, and we're ready to keep it rolling.
Auburn's 12 wins are the most in the NCAA so far this season, and will likely move them up from their current rank of number 25. SEC play is still about 2 weeks away, but when it does start, the Tigers could use this momentum because the conference has 8 teams ranked inside the top 25, according to the poll from Baseball America. Hey there, everyone. I'm joined now by Sam Chandler. He's the sports editor at the Valley Times News, where the Net Panthers just won their 3rd straight state title in basketball. Sam, a lot of people know this team. They know the height of this team. They know how good they are. But what stood out to you the most about this team?
Well, throughout the season, Lynette really dominated the competition. It won 15 straight games heading into Friday's state final, and it played some tough competition. Earlier in the year, traveled to South Carolina to play in the nationally renowned Beach Ball Classic. Fared okay there, but then once it came back to Alabama and faced some teams within its own classification, man, Lynette was nearly unstoppable. The team has height, it has experience, and it just has a lot of will to win, and that really showed on Friday in the state final when it had to claw back and win a really tight matchup.
In the playoffs, obviously, they dominated a lot of the teams that they played. What was it like when they had a close game, especially in the semifinal and in the final?
You really saw that the team's moxie. This team, it had experience. It had been at this stage before, and you could tell. When the going got a little bit tough, they remained calm, they maintained composure, and they were able to find a way, even when they didn't have their best stuff.
So like you said, obviously this is a dominant team this year, but a lot of people are wondering, what about next year's team? Can they win a 4th straight? I mean, they just won a title in football. What do you see for the team next year? Who are they losing? Who are they getting back? And how does the year look?
Well, I certainly think it's within the realm of possibility. Yes, they lose their 3 primary contributors from this year, and Emmanuel Littles, who's going to Florida Atlantic, and Quavius Pollard, Ty Truitt, but they return a ton of talent as well, headlined by Triquez Bridges, Christian Story, who are also centerpieces on the football field. And man, they're going to have 4 or 5 guys coming back who are all 6'4", 6'5", or taller. They have twins who are sophomores this year, and they're like 6'6" already. So it's wild that the depth that a small school like Lynette possesses, and they're dropping down to 1A from 2A. So theoretically, you would think the path to a title becomes easier with Sacred Heart, which is the 4-time defending state champion in 1A. I believe they jump up to 2A.
So the 3-peat Panthers could be going for a 4th, but first we're going to see them on the football field, and of course Sam will be covering it when they take the field.
Yes,
all right, Sam, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
We'll have more right after this. We're back with Picks of the Week, and I'm joined once again by Connor Hackling. Connor, we've got a few tournaments coming up for conferences with bracket selection just a week away. Let's go to the SEC and St. Louis. Who do you have winning the conference tournament?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a little bit of an upset here. I think Georgia's going to get hot and run through the tournament and punch their ticket into March Madness. Give me the Bulldogs.
Wow, I'm surprised by that. So Georgia probably not going to make the tournament unless they do win that. I've got a little bit of a surprise too, Kentucky. They haven't been the team that we thought they were this year, but they did break into the top 25. We all know that getting into the tournament is all about timing. And I think right now this team is clicking when they need to. So I've got Kentucky. All right, shifting gears, we've got the ACC. 3 teams in the top 10. We've got Duke, Virginia, and North Carolina. So do you see any of those 3 teams winning or someone on the outside?
I do. I see Duke. Virginia, I think, is the best team in the conference, but they're beatable. Their offense isn't too great. It's a low-scoring game against Virginia, and I think Duke can get hot, and they can end up winning this tournament.
So the Cavaliers are obviously the #1 overall seed, and I think that's the easy pick, so that's what I'm going to take. This is it, our pick. We've got one special pick that we make each week. So Connor, what are you taking and who?
I'm taking Georgia Southern, the Eagles, to win the Sun Belt tournament. And like Georgia, they would not make the tournament, obviously, in a non-Power 5. So they've got to win their conference tournament down in New Orleans.
No bias there, I don't think. I'm going to go back to the NBA. This week, we've got the Cavaliers traveling to take on the Lakers. This is the first time these teams have played each other since Larry Nance Jr. and Jordan Clarkson were shipped over for Isaiah Thomas, Channing Frye, and so I'm going to take the Cavaliers winning that game out in LA.
And if the Cavs lose that game, I think they redo the trade, right?
That's right. That's how it works. Yeah,
that's what I
and
thought.
Isaiah goes back,
Yeah.
which I don't know if they want that yet.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to send it over to Brendan for his picks.
All right, let's continue with our picks of the week. I'm joined by News 3's Jack Patterson. Had a tough week last week, 0-4, so we'll let you go first. We'll start with the SEC basketball tournament.
My apologies if I jinx anyone in advance. I'm going to go with Auburn to win the SEC tournament. They've been doubted all year, and they've overcome that all year. Why go against them right now?
Yeah, I think it's been a long season for them. Haven't had a lot of guys, a full staff, but they've been getting it done. I think they're going to be well rested by the time the tournament would hit them on Friday. The tournament begins on Wednesday, and they won't see Tennessee till the championship. I'm rolling with Bruce Pearl and the Auburn Tigers. ACC tournament begins on Tuesday. Georgia Tech playing in the first round of that one. My winner for the ACC tournament, one of my picks from last week, the Duke Blue Devils. I'm going with the 2 seed. They wouldn't catch Virginia until the championship game.
Speaking of Virginia, that's the team I'm picking. Defense wins championships. I have them going deep into the NCAA tournament. It starts by winning the ACC tournament.
All right, what's your random pick of the week?
Going to go with Wichita State to win the American Conference tournament down in Orlando. They had a great game with Cincinnati earlier today that you saw right here on News 3. And I think even though they had a heartbreaking loss in that one, they showed me a lot in that one. I'm going to go with the Shockers to shock everybody and get me back up the leaderboard.
Get you on the leaderboard. All right, I'm going to go a little Champions League soccer across the pond. Tuesday, the round of 16 continues. I'm going with Real Madrid, a 1-1 draw against Paris Saint-Germain. No Neymar, he's out. Real won 3-1 back at their place, so I think a 1-1 draw is what they'll go for and move them into the round of 8. That does it for our picks. Back to you.
I'm rooting for you, Jack, because you went 0-4 last week. Sorry, had to do it. When the last call returns, we'll take a look at the historic season for the Marion County Lady Eagles that they've had so far and continue as the team went to their first Final Four since 1992. Carlos Williams takes a look at our athletes of the week. I'm going to shorten up this intro and we'll see where we're at. What's that? Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to do this one real quick.
This your boy Jack.
No, I'm just going to take it from right here. So I'll do like half of the script. Welcome back. The Marion County Lady Eagles made to the state semifinals and beat Terrell County to advance to the 1A state championship. Carlos Williams caught up with the Eagles before their Final Four game.
The Lady Eagles of Marion County High School are jumping for joy these days after advancing to the semifinals of the Georgia State High School basketball playoffs. The Lady Eagles did it by beating Pelham High School earlier this week. And just as they've done all season long, the Lady Eagles did it by being unselfish. Now they hope to reach the ultimate goal.
We're very humble. Like, we try to keep positivity. Like, we like to be energetic. We're in it to win. That's it.
I feel great. At the beginning of the season, I wasn't sure how well we were going to go because we weren't really playing like a team at first, and we lost a couple games. But then towards the end, we were all working together, and it was just working out for us. Ultimate goal is obviously to win it all. I think us and other teams have the same goal. So I think we want to go farther though. We want to win it all.
They were champions last year, so everyone thought maybe since we're not expected to be here and we're here, and now we beat them.
Meanwhile, head coach Fran McPherson agrees that this team has great chemistry.
They play for each other. They're a humble team. They don't care who gets the points. They don't care who. They just want the jobs to get done, and they play for each other. I think that's our strength.
So to say there's excitement around town and around the school about this team is an understatement. This group of Lady Eagles have flown further than any other Marion County girls basketball team in history. Marion County will now head to Valdosta for a Final Four appearance against a good Terrell County team.
They're going to play fast. They're going to play. They've got some good shooters. I know that we're going to really have to play well defensively to win.
And so we'll say congratulations and good luck to the Marion County Lady Eagles, our Cody Road Trophies and Jewelers Athletes of the Week. From down in Marion County, I'm Carlos Williams for News 3 Sports on your side.
Thanks, Carlos. We'll be right back after this. Can you cut down some of this? Never mind, that's pretty short. Okay. Okay. No, it's pretty short already. I'll just talk fast and see where we're at. Our game of the week is the girls won a state basketball championship between 4th-ranked Greenville and the 3rd-ranked Marion County Eagles. And taking a look at how they got here, Greenville knocked off top-ranked Telfair County in their game to advance, while Marion County defeated 2nd-ranked Terrell County, and their semifinal tip-off is at 6 Eastern in Macon. Every week we show you one video that you just have to see. This week we have Arthur Cooper. Yesterday he turned 100 years old, and for his birthday he wanted to tee off one last time before calling it quits, and he did just that this morning. As if it couldn't get better, Mr. Cooper's grandson also teed off. I got a chance to talk to him after that. Why do you enjoy golf so much?
It's just a good game. And did fairly well. I shot my age. Everybody has to shoot their age.
Thanks so much for joining us. We're going to be right back here next week at 11:30 after the Night Watch. I'm your host, Justin Holbrook, signing off.